"I eat politicians for breakfast." These words are not of any dictator, but of a person who strengthened the democracy of India. In the history of Indian democracy, one name stands out as a symbol of fear, discipline, and reform: Tirunelai Narayana Seshan, the man who redefined the role of the Election Commission of India. Known as the toughest and most uncompromising election commissioner the country has ever seen, Seshan's tenure from 1990 to 1996 left an indelible mark on Indian politics. Seshan, born in 1922 in Kerala, started his career in the Indian Administrative Service in 1955. Over the years, he held many prestigious positions, from Secretary of Defense Production to Cabinet Secretary of India. But it was his appointment as the 10th Chief Election Commissioner of India in December 1990 that changed the course of his career and Indian democracy forever. Before Seshan, elections in India were often marred by booth capturing, muscle power, vote buying, and blatant violations of the model code of conduct. Politicians and parties operated with near impunity. The Election Commission was seen as a passive body, often ignored by political heavyweights. Seshan changed that perception overnight. Armed with the powers granted under Article 324 of the Indian Constitution, Seshan asserted the Commission's authority like never before. He declared that elections would be conducted strictly according to the law, and anyone who violated the rules would face consequences. His strict enforcement of the Model Code of Conduct became legendary. He did not hesitate to cancel or postpone elections if he found large-scale irregularities. During his tenure, he introduced and enforced reforms that many thought were impossible at the time. He banned the use of loudspeakers without permission, limited campaign spending, and cracked down on the misuse of government machinery during elections. He ensured that official photo identity cards for voters were introduced, drastically reducing bogus voting. For the first time, candidates had to declare their assets and criminal records, exposing the nexus between crime and politics. The scale of his crackdown can be seen in the figures. Between 1991 and 1996, under Seshan's watch, the Commission issued over 100,000 notices for violations of election law. He disqualified hundreds of candidates for corrupt practices and pulled up state governments for failing to maintain law and order during polling. His measures were so strict that many politicians began to fear even the mention of his name. It was said that in the early 1990s, the most feared man in India was not the Prime Minister, but Seshan. His no-nonsense approach earned him both admiration and criticism. While ordinary citizens hailed him as a crusader who cleaned up India's electoral system, politicians across parties accused him of being authoritarian. Yet his reputation grew beyond India. In 1996, he was awarded the Ramon Magsaysay Award for Government Service, often considered Asia's Nobel Prize, for his role in restoring integrity to public elections. Seshan's methods also led to long-term structural reforms. The Supreme Court, influenced by his activism, later ruled that the Election Commission must be a multi-member body to prevent too much power being concentrated in one person's hands. This decision was a direct result of his larger-than-life impact on Indian elections. Even after retiring in 1996, Seshan remained a public figure. He contested the 1997 presidential election, but lost to Narayanan. Still, his legacy was already sealed. He had turned the Election Commission from a symbolic institution into a powerful guardian of democracy. T.N Seshan passed away in 2019 at the age of 86, but his shadow still looms large over India's democratic processes. The very fact that elections today, despite their flaws, are conducted with far more order and fairness owes much to the foundations he laid. And perhaps that is the tragedy of today's India, that while Seshan once made even the most powerful politicians tremble before the election commission. Now the commission itself stands accused of bowing before power. If Seshan were alive today, he would remind us of one simple truth. Democracy dies not with the silence of the people, but with the silence of its watchdogs.